So today we will start with a chapter called Partnership Accounts connected to admission of a partner. So here we'll be knowing many points over here. I just given the objectives, the textbook which I have shared earlier with you all. So you can see the concept we are going to learn and what are the ratios we'll be calculating, then connected to revaluation account, connected to adjustment of reserves and accumulated profits and losses, how to treat the goodwill under different situations, and how much capital to be brought in by the new partner and to be adjusted according to the new profit sharing ratio, and what are the various accounts to be prepared under situation of admission of a partner. So let me just give a brief about what is admission of a partner. Admission of a partner to the existing partnership business is a new person entering into the partnership agreement as well as partnership firm. Suppose say there are two partners A and B, they are doing the business and they want to take maybe one of the friend, family member to the partnership. Suppose the name of the person may be C. So C becomes the new partner. So C admission into the partnership, taking the C as a partner into the business is called admission of a partner. Remember, A and B already running the business. C is going to join now as a partner. The business may be 5 years old, 10 years old, but they're taking the new person into the business form because the maximum number is there in the partnership rule, partnership act. So if it is not exceeding, they can take any number of persons into the business. So taking a new person into the existing partnership, which is going to be helpful for the business in various angles. Business may add a person to the business for various reasons. The reason may be the existing business wants more capital. As I told in the example, A and B may not have the sufficient money to add on to the business. So they will take a new partner, C, into the business. So C will get capital to the business. So when C gets the capital to the business, the capital base of the business will increase. So one of the objective or one of the reason for taking a new partner into the business is to increase the capital. Then maybe to expand the business in different places, maybe adding new production units, new branches. So to make the business much bigger, a new person may add a value to the business. Another reason for taking a new partner into the business may be because of the new partner has more managerial ability to manage the business, to grow faster, to expand faster. He may have an experience, he may have a knowledge, he may have a skill. So that experience, skill, knowledge will be helpful for the development of the business, to increase the profits, to increase the sales. That person, as I told in the example, partner C may have a extra connectivity, knowledge, skill for the development of the business. So they take the new partner into the business to grow faster. Then to increase the goodwill of the firm, That means a C partner may have more connectivity, more famous. So when C enters into the business, he may become better known person to others. So new connectivity may be there for purchase goods, for sale of goods. So when the known person is there, the visibility for the business becomes more. People get attracted to the business. Like if we see the advertisements where brand ambassadors they choose for their products and service, like that here, they take a new partner who is known to the society. So then they get a more business to the business that increases the value of the business. That is how to increase the goodwill of the firm for that reason. Then when a new partner entering into the business, there are some changes that will happen in the business. So connected to that, we'll be calculating two ratios. One is sacrifice ratio, one is new profit sharing ratio. So let me tell about the new ratio first. Just a meaning, calculations we'll learn later. And what is sacrifice ratio, I will explain further. Suppose say two partners are there, A and B, who are equal partners. So if they are equal partners means 1:1, or we say 1/2, 1/2, half. So half means 50%. 50% profit for A, 50% profit for B. That is an existing profit sharing ratio. Suppose C enters into business, then also equal partnership in the future. That means for A, B, C, the ratio will be 1:1:1. That becomes 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So if you make 1/3, the percentage will be 33.33. So A was getting earlier 50%, B will get, B also was getting 50%. So now A will get 33.33 instead of 50%. So for A's profit percentage is coming down. B also will see that he was getting 50%. Now it is going to be 33.33%. So A and B were getting 50% earlier. Now they will be getting 33.33% after admission of C. So because C is admitted to the partnership, A and B has to sacrifice their 16.67% profit to C. So A will give his 16.67% to C. B will give 16.67% to C. That means C gets profit from A, C gets profit from B also. So what A and B giving to C is called sacrifice ratio. And new ratio will be instead of 1/2, it becomes 1/3. This is just an example to make you understand what is the new ratio, what is the sacrifice ratio. So we will work out those calculations later, how to go about for that. Next, let me get into what are the changes that will happen in the books of accounts of the business. Please understand, suppose you are an old partner and you want to take one partner to the business, new person. So you already put an effort for making the business going on well, do well in the market. So already you have a good name, already you're having profits. So your efforts have to be recognized. Otherwise, straight away C will enter into business and he will share the profit. But C has not put efforts for 5 years or 10 years like you. So it is very important for existing partners to demand for some rights. So that we will discuss here. So what are the changes that will take place if a new partner enters into the business? So first one is the revaluation of assets and revaluation of liabilities of the existing business. So all of you know that each business or any partnership firm will have their own assets and liabilities which are used in the business. So 5 years over, 10 years over, the asset values, liability values may not be the same. So you may be wondering, sir, every year they do depreciation in the accounts, all assets are decreased, everything will be there in the books of accounts. How the value will change? Take an example of a land. So if you have a land or building, so as per records, you purchase at one value, every year you depreciate. So value will come down. But because there is a huge demand in the market, that particular place might have become the center place of the business. The land value might have grown because of the demand, but your records will have less price. Suppose you might have purchased 28, 30 years before for suppose say 1 lakh rupee. The land or building value will not be 1 lakh rupee today. Because of the huge demand, the price might have gone to 1 crore also. So as per your records, it is 1 lakh, but today it is 1 crore. So 99 lakh profit. So imagine if you are A or B, would you like to give that 99 lakh profit benefit to the partner C? Definitely no, because it is your effort. So whether there is a profit in the assets or reduction in the value of liability, the benefit is required for A and B as old partners. So if you think from old partners' point of view, old partners wants to go for revaluation of assets and liability, and if any profit is there, they want to take that profit and they want to record the assets and liabilities with a new value. Similarly, if you think from the new partner's point of view, that is C's point of view, C, when they enter into the business, the assets value might have come down. For example, machinery is there. Machinery shown in the business records some value, suppose say 5 lakhs, or a vehicle has been shown at 10 lakhs. But the real value of machinery and vehicle may not be so much when they try to sell in the market. So 10 lakhs vehicle may be able to sell only for 2 lakhs. The vehicle might have not be in the good condition. So 8 lakhs loss. So when C enters into business, straight away he has to share that 8 lakhs loss. It will be a shock for him. So he don't want any such losses when he enters into the business. So A and B don't want to share profit. C don't want to share the loss. So that is why usually the revaluation of assets and liabilities will be taking place before before the new partner enters into the business. Before the new partner enters into the business, they want to share the profit or loss on revaluation of assets and liabilities. So for that, one account is prepared called as revaluation account. So the agreement will happen between A, B, and C, which assets to be reduced, which asset to be increased based on some discussion, based on some facts and figures. Then they go for agreeing upon revaluation of assets and liabilities. We'll do the problems on that. Next, distribution of reserves and undistributed profit or loss. Like every business may have reserve fund, general reserve, fluctuation fund, investment fluctuation fund, something like that. So the fund is created out of profit earned by A and B. So if the reserve is as it is, C enters into the business, then that reserve is also shared by C. So think as A and B. Suppose the business is having 5 lakh rupees reserve. So A and B want to share that 5 lakhs or take C also into business and share that 5 lakhs. So you have to think as a partner. Then definitely you will say, no, as a or as a B, I don't want to share the profit with C because he was not a part of the business. He has not done anything for the business. Why should I share profit to him? Why should I share my reserve to him? Let me share, or let us share among ourselves. So A and B will share reserves. A and B will share profit and loss account, maybe profit, maybe loss. Then the new third one is the new partner may bring in some capital, as we have discussed, to increase the capital base of the business. So capital, the new partner brings in maybe cash, maybe machinery, maybe land, maybe building, maybe vehicle, any asset. So new partner will agree with the terms and conditions of A and B. If all of them agree, the new partner can bring any asset to the business, need not be only cash. Then the goodwill, I'll explain the goodwill part later, a separate one. What is goodwill, everything I'll explain further. Then adjustment of capitals, why adjustment capital is required, I'll explain to you. So here, first, as I told you, revaluation account is prepared to show all the values of assets and liabilities of the firm in special situations. The special situation is here, it is called admission of a partner. It can be retirement of a partner. It can be death of a partner. All are special situations wherein the value of assets and liabilities done. If there is a clause in, if there is a clause in partnership deed or partnership agreement. So the increase or decrease will be recorded in account, revaluation account. I'll explain further for that. So another name for revaluation account is profit and loss adjustment account. So there are two names for revaluation account. One is revaluation account and other one is profit and loss adjustment account. So whether it is an increase, whether it is a decrease in the value of asset or in the value of liability, that will be recorded. So that will be entered in the account and it will be shared among the partners in their profit sharing ratio. So if asset value increases, it is a profit for the partners. If asset value decreases, loss for the partners. Similarly, if liability value increases, loss for the business and the partners, because liability means more payable. If liability comes down, reduces, then it is a profit for the business. So even sometimes what happens, there are some assets, there are some liabilities not recorded in the books. Even that can be brought into the books of accounts. And if asset is brought in, that becomes a profit for the partner. If liability is brought into the records, that becomes a loss for the partners. So how to make an entry, I'll explain further. Journal entries are there. Journal entries we may not be able to understand easily, but I'll show in the working later further. So for increase of an asset, asset account debtor to revaluation, decrease of an asset, revaluation account debtor to asset account. They may ask for 1 mark or 2 marks, this one, journal entries. For increase of liability, revaluation account debtor to liability account. For decrease of liability, liability account debtor to revaluation account. So even unrecorded assets and liabilities can be brought into the picture. That means not recorded in the books, not shown in the balance sheet, also can be brought into the books of accounts. That is called recording of unrecorded assets and liabilities. So if asset is brought in, for recording the unrecorded asset account debtor to revaluation. For recording of unrecorded liability, revaluation account debtor to unrecorded liability. So then after all the entries are made according to the agreement between the old partners and the new partner, all entries are done in the revaluation, and final profit or loss, balancing the revaluation account. Any profit, any loss is there, that will be shared among the only old partners and not with the new partner. So this is the one. So for transferring the entries, we will be having an entry called if the profit, that is credit is more, debit is less, revaluation account debtor to old partners capital account. If it is a loss, old partners capital account debtor to revaluation account. So you might have seen in the P&L appropriation account, how did we balance, how did we found the profit or loss? Same method we follow in revaluation account also. So if you have any doubt in the explanation, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'll show you how we prepare the revaluation account, etc. I'll explain to you. So with whom I have not shared this book, textbook copy, send the email. I will share with you. So don't worry about it. So now in the explanation, whatever I have done, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Don't hesitate, or you can message me individually also, so that I can go on further.